your drink so hot. They make
Mm-hmm.
swag for your business, your ministry, your youth ministry, family reunion,
Yes.
jackets, sweaters, anything you can think of.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing is that it's like high quality. So you want to check them out.
It is.
And um, I love their ministry. We went and visited them. They invest in the city, invest in the young people. It's amazing. So make sure to click on them, learn more about them, and order your products from them.
Hi, Mike. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Carmen. Good morning.
Brian has a day off.
Yes, he does.
He will be back tomorrow, God willing, because you know it's 2020, so you never know.
You never know.
Hello.
You can only hope.
Yeah. It's let me see. So yeah, we were talking about the elderly and their experience through the pandemic. There was a headline that made me so sad, and just talking about how the isolation of quarantine has isolated the elderly and even impacted them in terms of death rates. So sad.
Yeah.
And I know that people who have loved ones in nursing homes, you know, are going through the pain of not being able to see them like they would like. But then Ron even reminded us there's the younger elderly, like 60s and 70s, who are feeling different types of isolation and depression and all of that. And so ways to keep them in mind. Then later on the show, we had Lisa Anderson from Focus on the Family. She's with Boundless, love her ministry. And she was about singles and how they feel isolated as well. How some of them have been uninvited from family reunions because people have concerns about the pandemic and all that. So just ways, practical ways that you're remembering elderly in your neighborhood or in your family, and singles. Sometimes we forget singles. It's easier to forget to remember grandma than it is to remember the 30-year-old single mom that might be spending the Christmas by herself.
And it's so difficult. Like my grandma, she lives in like elderly facilities, so it's kind of like apartments for elderly. And of course, it's like they had a couple like outbreaks where maybe helpers ended up having COVID, and then a couple residents ended up getting it. And so everybody was on lockdown. And over Thanksgiving, they weren't allowing any visitors, and you couldn't like pick up grandma, to take her to Thanksgiving. So she was asked who's going to come up, like whose Thanksgiving are we going to? And we had to explain like we can't, which is so difficult. I know what we tried to do was put together like a Christmas, like a Thanksgiving plate for her so she could take it. What my mom's hoping to do for Christmas is to put together like a book of like pictures of each family member and what they're doing in their families. So grandma can see all the updates, could see pictures, just to add like a little bit more of a connection.
Yeah, that's good.
But it's really difficult.
Maybe one of you is single, like Lisa Anderson, and you guys can share with us how your plans have changed or things you're doing differently. Practical ways we can remember single moms. I would love to hear maybe practical things we can do. Single moms in our churches. Lisa, who's that? Lisa
Neville.
Lisa Neville's, what's up, Lisa?
Love you.
Love Lisa. She's my sister, y'all. Can you please like her? She's Len's sister. She's the oldest. So she likes to tell Len, I'm in charge. I'm the boss.
That's right.
Hi, Carmen. I'm going to visit your Facebook page, Carmen.
Ooh, I'm going to see.
Oh, let me see. Carmen Morales. She said, good morning, my dearest. And Miss Anita's on. Carmen.
Hey.
Let me see. Oh, are those your sons, Carmen?
Aww.
Or brothers? Let us know. You look so cute.
Smile.
I love your smile. And you're saying, I love your cover picture. Kelly's here. Kelly Fuller. Sharon, what's up, Sharon? Mike says some big things supposed to happen today. What is that?
Interesting.
Deborah says, we just became grandparents last night. What? Aww, and can't really see the family. That's isolation on the younger side.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's tough.
Aww.
Do you have pictures of your grandchild, Deborah. I'm going to go see if you got
Yeah.
pictures.
And Carmen said those are her sons. So cute.
Oh, that's too
So
cool.
cute.
I love boys. I love my sons, and your sons are so handsome. Deborah says, this is hard on all. I do think the
Yeah.
elderly are faring worse, however. They sure
Yeah.
are.
They are.
And I feel helpless in a sense of like what can
Yeah.
you do? In the past, it was like, okay, well then go visit, send cards, and
Yeah.
go sing songs. Like, what can you do? I love,
Yeah.
somebody texted and said that one of her friends gave her a pop-up tent so that she can visit her husband by the window and be covered from the elements as much as possible.
Yeah.
So that's an idea. Deborah said, oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, Deborah says our church is addressing Christmas cards generally, then taking them to an area nursing homes so they can have cards and wishes from someone. Oh, that's sweet.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
And I think that's one thing that we can all do is it'll bless somebody. Even making a phone call makes a huge difference. So I would do that. And then Mike says all or part of internet is going down. Possibly like constitutional things. Possibly. I mean, who knows?
Y'all, there's a blackout, like a Google outage. And so,
Really?
yeah, it's like on
Oh.
Business Insider. So it's going to impact your Gmail, YouTube, Google Meetings. So just plan accordingly. I just saw that come up this morning. It started at like 6 in the morning. Angie, what's up?
Hey.
What's up?
Good morning.
Miss Anita, I love when you're on.
Yeah.
Let me see. So,
And I think it's hard for like singles too, in the sense of, say, I know because of like COVID, like you never know who's been in contact with who and exposure. I mean, if it was a regular Christmas time, I'd say reach out to them and have them come over, like be a part of something. And it doesn't have to be Christmas or Christmas Eve, like it doesn't have to be those days, but it's hard because of exposure.
Yeah.
And do you do that? But I would say even just give somebody a phone call and let them like know that you're thinking of them, that you care about them. Elderly, single, all those individuals, single mothers who are going through tough times, maybe even picking up Christmas gifts for them
yeah.
just to make it a little bit easier.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Single moms is a big one.
it is. Yeah.
Kelly says, I'm trying to make more of an effort to check in with some of my widowed friends. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Kelly, you don't understand how much that means. My mom, unfortunately, is a widow, and we're 9 years into it, and it's still something that I'm like, it's close to my heart. And so I'm so happy, Kelly, that you have a heart for the widowed, no matter the age. Like, it's crazy. So that's another group. Deborah says the family has not posted pictures yet. Can't wait to see your pictures, and congratulations on being a new grandma. Sharon says our church is closing. Oh man,
That's tough.
what have you seen singles around you be either uninvited or planning to just be alone at home, and how are they feeling about it?
Yeah. I would say my friend group might be the exception. So we've kind of gone out of the way to stay connected through this time and this pandemic. And so like just over the weekend we did like a social distance get together. It was very small, and that way we could do something special before Christmas.
Yeah.
Of course we all have our own families, but it makes it a little bit special because I don't know how much exposure they're going to be able to have with their family, if that makes sense. I know individuals who are trying to figure out, well, which family do we go to? Because the more family you see, the more exposure. And so there's this struggle of, do I see, like, my parents but not see grandma? Do I, it makes it very difficult. I think the best thing to do is ask whether or not people want you over, what's better for them.
Yeah.
Kind of be more of a surrendering and gracious.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
tough.
Sharon, I am so sad. She says her church is closing.
Aw.
And Deborah asked, is it for good or at this time? She said for good. I am so
Aw.
sorry about that, Sharon. Oh,
I'm
wow.
sorry. That's difficult.
Gary says, try to keep some ideas simple because some of the elders aren't computer savvy. Yeah, I like that, Gary. And Ron reminded us of that,
Yeah.
which kind of is sad because then you can't even do Zoom with
I know.
grandma in a
yeah.
nursing home.
That's one thing with my grandma that we've tried doing, and her phone right now doesn't really work, but she's also, you can't have someone come in to teach her how to use the new phone, and therefore you can't do like a FaceTime, which would have been really beneficial. So we've even thought about contacting some of the workers there just to help her get set up so she is able to FaceTime with us. But
Yeah.
that's going above and beyond for workers too.
Rob says
It's
this
hard.
could be a nice time to write to loved ones. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. And
Mhm.
stay more connected than usual to grandparents.
Yes.
Now I'm not talking about the ones in nursing homes, but just grandma, grandpa.
In general.
Sometimes we get so consumed in the holidays with the kids and their activities and all that.
Yeah.
This is a year that we should make extra time. For example, my kids' grandparents on Len's side, they didn't spend Thanksgiving with us, and they're not going to spend Christmas because they don't feel comfortable, and so they feel a little bit more isolated than usual. So to make extra time to sit the kids down and do Zoom, or if they
Yeah.
can't do Zoom, put them on the phone and hand the phone around. Or if the kids are at home more now, so maybe practice handwriting or typing by writing a note to grandma and grandpa.
Yeah, Viola. She says, "Good morning, all. I'm elderly, as you know. When this first started, I had gone 2.5 months without human touch. I have a wonderful, beautiful family. On Mother's Day, my eldest daughter and son-in-law brought my dinner to me.
Aww.
When she said if I was willing to go get my mask and she would give me a hug, both of them worked from their home. When we both hugged,
Aww.
we both sobbed. You have no idea how healing human touch is. Viola, I was exactly the same way because I had gone, being single and living in my own apartment with no roommates, I had gone without physical touch too. And Viola, I think I'm like you where like physical touch is just a wonderful thing. I love hugging people. And I just remember like my parents saying, you know what, we just need to come see you. And I hugged my mom and I just, tears started streaming down my face. And I think I hugged her for at least 15, 20 minutes because I didn't want to let go. So
Yeah.
I'm with you. It's so hard.
I'm so glad,
Yeah.
Viola, that your family is there for you and that they're
Yes.
there. Sharon, guys, Sharon is super sad because the church is closing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Deborah, for helping her and talking to her. If you
Yeah.
can encourage Sharon.
Yes.
I know it's tough in terms of losing your family, church family, and your just fellowship. So, especially in a time like this. Deborah says, I had a church close. It hurt so bad. It felt like a death, and it was. My husband and I carried our own church until we found another one.
Yeah.
Mike says, take a plate of cookies to them. I guess if they allow it at the place, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Angie says, my friend just became a widow this year because of COVID. Oh, wow.
Oh.
I try to call her every week and have Zoom gatherings with her and our other friend.
Yeah.
We've known each other for over 40 years. Just letting her know I'm here. That is so good, Angie, especially as the time keeps going. Because people are around for the funeral and the sickness and all that, but like for years to come, there will be a void and an emptiness. So that's so good, Angie. Gary says, writing to elders is the best. This is their way of communicating along with little notes and Christmas cards. Yes.
Yes,
And
I
what a
love
great
it.
way to have kids be hands-on and have your kids write cards or draw, or that's a great opportunity
I feel
for the
like-
kids to minister.
Yeah, and I feel like writing letters is such a lost art. Like we never, I don't know. I don't send Christmas cards.
Yeah.
And it's something that's so sweet
Yeah.
to get a reminder of like, hey, like Merry Christmas, how are you doing? Kind of reconnecting. That it's so sweet.
If you're on YouTube, I see you sitting there. How are you guys navigating through this quarantine holiday? If you have elderly in your family or singles,
Yeah.
just think like single moms or young adults or just widowed, like Angie's saying. What are ways that you're keeping them in mind?
Yeah.
Deborah says our church service Sunday talked about the Barnabas factor, how we should be an encouragement to others. And in that way, we too will be refreshed. Oh, we talked about that today. Wow, that's deep, Deborah.
That is deep.
We can get consumed into our own losses and our own issues. That sounds like a great service.
Yeah. And I see Deborah, Kelly, and Angie talking about how it was so hard during this time, and it still is because we're social and physical beings, and that like getting hugs during this time from family members or friends and not being able to at the same time is very difficult. Yeah. So tough.
Who was it? Angie says she's a hugger too, and that it's hard during this time. Kelly also cried when she was able to hug her son and daughter. Yeah, it's tough. Gary, yes, it is a lost art. The same with sending Christmas cards.
Yeah.
My little daughter Nia has a pen pal, and they write letters.
Aww.
And Raina's pen pal is Nia's pen pal's cousin. Anyways, they're related, and they're both in Chicago. You know who it is?
Yeah.
Trish McMillan's daughter. But it's a good way to, and so I'm bringing that up to say, kids can do it, and if they can't write, they can draw a picture. But to use this time to do it to grandma, grandpa, or the neighbor. Sometimes we got elderly or people isolated and lonely in our own street.
Yeah.
And we see them and, just don't connect.
And this is a fun thing that I've done, like in large groups actually, and they're called like platonic love notes, where like say you have a group of 10 family members, right? You're going to write an individual letter for each individual and make it personal and very sweet. So eventually you combine all the notes and you end up getting 10 love notes from people you care about. And I think it's a great way of showing encouragement, like through different avenues. But that way, like, you don't necessarily have to be in person to send like a care love letter. So
that's good.
Absolutely.
Kathy says, pray for a family member of mine who is a young adult. She does not have any friends here. She goes to school online and works online. Oh, not doing well at all. Oh, Kathy, I'm so sorry about that. I know we've been hearing a lot about depression on the rise.
Yes.
Hopefully they're not depressed, but I know it impacts mental health. We will be praying for them, Kathy.
Yeah.
Sharon says it means more than I can express. The hugging, I guess.
Yeah.
Donella, what's up, my girl?
Hey.
Woo! My sister is a nurse in a nursing home. She helps the elderly communicate with
like FaceTime.
or FaceTime with their family
Oh,
all
that's
the
awesome.
time.
Yeah, I'll have to try that and call over there and see if we could just figure that out. That's great. Yeah. I for sure will do that.
Yeah, that's really good. Okay, y'all. It's been real.
Yes.
And just continue to pray for family. Reach out. That's my challenge today. Think of one person that you've seen at church throughout the years or that's right up the street from you that's alone, single mom, an elderly person, or just an older person that just lives alone, and connect with them. It could just be a text, hey, I'm thinking about you, or an email. Alrighty, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Here I go. I'm gonna be Brian and be completely clueless. Oh, look. It's like